Gosh, I just started the recording with the P1000, and what I'm going to do is zoom in on this and show you once again probably very powerful evidence of the sun being in the midst of the clouds, as Job 37 indicates. When there's clouds like this, what I want you to think about, and you can look at my photo album and other videos that I've done, it's not as obvious now because there's light all around. Like an hour before the sunrise, I can see the sun approaching, and it's a small area of that visible. That's the point of that. So when I zoom in on a structure like that, the water is obviously flat and level. That's the point of that. And the reason that's important is it means they're taking our tax dollars and giving us a false reality with trips to the moon and Mars, and the space that NASA's most interested in is between your ears, folks, your brain. Because then you'll go along with the rest of their lies. We've got to make America great. We've got to build weapons of warfare to protect us from the terrorists. You're either with us or the terrorists. I'm calling bullshit on George W. Bush and his Papa Bush, Poppy Bush, opium distributor Bush. Those bastards, and I call them bastards and I mean it, they're the spawn of Satan as far as I'm concerned. Skull and Bones Society members perpetrating death and destruction on humanity and killing innocent men, women, and children and enslaving the rest of humanity with that false reality that they're pushing on us. I'm a bit put off by it. If that doesn't upset you, you're not paying attention, or something worse. What I want to do is call attention to it, to show people the reality of the world that we live in, so you can make an informed choice. They made it really shameful to be a draft dodger. For gosh sakes, a lot of innocent men, women, and children were killed for the false pretense for war that Vietnam was. What I've come to find out is much of what we're told about our history was cleverly designed to manipulate humanity into killing each other. I just wanted to show you how beautiful this is and what it looks like from this vantage point. It's a plain mirror. It's a sea level liquid mirror that you're looking at. So earlier this week I showed you the mud right down here where people would, well, like I said, I saw a lady up to her waist stuck in it. Her husband had to come and rescue her. There's a sandbar out there that you can't see right now. You can't see the clam beds, any of that. There's the moon right up there, and I'm going to zoom in on it. I don't have much time to show it to you. You'll see it on the P1000 recording later. When I get home and post it, you can check it out if you like. So I've got mind-blowing photos and videos of the sun and the moon and the stars at the various seasons. In the summer here, the sun came up right where you're looking at. In the winter, it's going to come up way over in the middle of the view. To put that in perspective, It's even more than from a left to a right view. That's why I say, do you feel yourself spinning, wobbling, or gyrating? Well, the movement of the earth has never been proven. If you've got what you believe is proof for that, go ahead and send it to me. Anybody can comment on my live broadcast now. I removed the commenting by friends only. Let's see how that works out. What's kind of nice is now I've got a lot of friends that know the truth about this, and they'll back me up. Share my stuff and show this world the way it is, not the way they want it to be. Exposing the lies because it matters for eternity. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning. Yeah.
So with the lighting, what'll happen is when the sun punches through and hits the structures, it reflects different. That's just how it actually works. So the reflection will follow the eyes of the observers, which is all of us. You can see how this will line up a bit different. How we'll be able to see more of that reflection on the flat water. See how it's showing up? That's how I get some of this mind-blowing photography and videography. I wanted to teach you how to do it, and also how to decode some of this. What you're looking at. Look at the difference of just a little bit of movement left or right. There it is. And I know that this spot is here this time of the year. The sun and the moon and stars move a course above the stationary earth. That's biblical, that's reality, whether you like it or not, or agree with it or not. I'm to the point right now where I'm not indifferent about what other people believe about it. I just understand I can't change their mind. They maybe can't even change their mind. They may be so stuck into the deception that they're in and believing the lie that they want to believe, and God will help them do it. How does that work? Well, 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 says to everybody forever, they refuse to love the truth and so be saved. For this reason, God sends them a powerful delusion. There's virtually no wind right now. I'm here because this is the mirror that I wanted to show you. The cloud consistency is a little more challenging to illustrate how the sun is in the midst of the clouds. Normally the composition and the tapestry of thicker and thinner allows that to be more obvious, but I've nailed it. It's all over my profile. My Sun in the Clouds video isn't a one-time thing, although it's been seen over 750,000 times in its different venues. There is a frequency going on the water right now. I don't know what is causing it. I've seen it before. It's right in the middle of the view. It doesn't look like fish came up. It looks like there's some kind of energy hitting the water. Big time. I've seen fish surface. It looks like it's coming from the middle. It may be some kind of activity under the water. I don't know what it is. I've noticed it before. I'm going to zoom in on it a little bit and see if you can see the rippling that's going on. The different patterns of reflections are amazing. Now, we are in a seismic area. Charleston has had some massive earthquakes. So on the other side of the water tower is the point in Cherry Grove. Done a lot of video out there. That's where the eagle is in the trees. Got him flying out and catching a fish. So with the firmament, that's the Genesis reference, Genesis 1, chapter 1, there's a dome above the earth. Okay, they can bounce signals on it. Imagine it's like a big what they call a satellite dish. It's a big dish that they can beam frequencies off of. That's just the reality of it. Satellites, as we're told, are part of the NASA deception. I've got abundant documentation of that. Okay, it's truly very calm, and I'm going to zoom in with the P1000. The white band of paint that's around just above the parking ramp of that building in the middle of the view, that's a very unusual sight to see at this calm. The symmetry is absolutely perfect. I'm going to zoom in, and I can show you with the photos as well. I'll zoom in on the culverts underneath the road. Let's see what I can see from there. The water seeks level and covers the face of the stationary earth. So when I say water seeks level, some say, well, that doesn't make any sense. Well, let me unpack that for you. Here's how it works. There would be no level anywhere in the world if we were on a spinning, wobbling, gyrating oblate spheroid. I couldn't even play a game of billiards. I couldn't even take a shower. I couldn't sit on a toilet, spinning, wobbling, and gyrating. People upside down in relationship to other people. That is so freaking ridiculous. It's as ridiculous as Santa knowing what I'm doing and whether or not he's going to bring me a lump of coal or a Red Ryder BB gun. Almost everybody I've talked to believed the Santa lie. But when I was a kid, seeing Santa and his flying reindeer on the radar, on the news program, the same television that I saw the fake moon landing 50 years ago. Where were you when they did the fake moon landing? I remember exactly where I was. If you ladies want to see what's on my channel, you could take a snapshot of the information on my car. If you hashtag YouTube Truth, it's there. And feel free to reach out anytime. I've got some powerful documentaries to expose some things that maybe you were unaware of.
Oh yeah, awesome.
Thanks, nice to meet y'all. Thank you. And you'll be briefly on the view of my video.
Awesome.
And if you wanted an interview, I could put you on if you want.
Oh no.
Okay, that's cool. Hey, you're welcome. And what's interesting about that is sometimes I will actually interview people, and I normally like to make that known to them before it happens so they can choose to either be on or not. So that type of interaction happens with me often out here, and there will be a curiosity to explore the content. And then it's not just simply about the evidence that I've compiled and others. This isn't a me show. I'm not, if you want to know how I've been able to compile such amazing content, look at my friends list, see who I'm connected to. Some of them you won't even know because they're not visible as people that I'm actually connected with as friends now. They may have shared information with me, and they came looking for me. And what I want you to do is just simply look at the content and see what it is. Now, one of the young ladies said, "Are you the only one doing this out here?" I said, "Well, not actually, because I've got friends that will share my content all over the world. I have friends all over the world, and they share the content all over the world as well. Their primary language in some cases is different than mine. I'll share their videos anyway. So now I'm seeing, you know, the minnows on the top of the water. I get that. They're swimming around. That's what I'm looking at there. No big deal. What I saw in the middle out here, it looked like some type of frequency hitting the water. Now, over on top of the, between the buildings in the middle of the view, the house there, there's a water tower. Nowadays, a lot of water towers are also cell towers and more. The technology that's available that comes through the televisions and comes through the radio, the frequencies, the silent weapons for quiet wars, the manipulation of humanity with high-powered computer technology, it's all happening right now. How about that? I thought you should know. So I spend a lot of hours doing it. So it's not just one more video. See, that's normal surface type activity, fish swimming around. That's not what I saw. I get that. And it doesn't freak me out. It's just the way that it is. Now imagine if you could control the financial market, the weather, public opinion, and the belief system of humanity. Imagine if you could control that. All of that. Artificial intelligence does, for the most part, control all of that. Now, God is still sovereign. He always has been. That means that He's in charge. Nothing in this world happens that He doesn't cause or allow. So, to be clear on that, I'm simply wanting to point out the reality that we're in a battle that many people are unaware of. They don't know, and they don't know that they don't know. So in the view is the light reflecting off of the building that's shooting from above there. The mathematical geometric reflections and what we can see, the shadows and the reflections, those are all clues to the world that we live in. And I also mean metaphorically. When I look in the mirror, I see a man that I am grateful to be, rather than a man I used to loathe. I used to hate myself because I couldn't stop doing what I knew I shouldn't be doing, and I couldn't do the things that I believed I should in many cases. So now that I'm empowered by the Holy Spirit to do what I'm created to do, I enjoy it. I have a passion, purpose, an eternal perspective, and the power to do what I couldn't do, and the pleasure to enjoy it all, even in the midst of massive opposition. So the open ocean is right there. That's the Prince Resort. The pier is just on the Cherry Grove Fishing Pier is on the other side of it. Let's go. Let's go see what it looks like. Let's see who's out there. It looks like I've got a little bit of a lens flare. So I'm going to take that off with the lens pen. Yeah, that looks better. So rather than doing shock video and showing ridiculous stuff that people will give millions of views for, like, who? Logan Paul? PewDiePie? Oh wow. And then we've got the Discovery Channel, National Geographic, and all the garbage that they're putting out under the guise of science. Science fiction is what it is. So I'm outing that whole corrupt system that's enslaving humanity. The metaphorical example, or the allegorical example of the Matrix, is on a lot of my liked videos. I put it there because I believe it's a reality that a lot of people can relate with. Do you really believe that we could have toilet water not flying out on people in Australia because of gravity? Well, no, it's just water seeking its level. That's what it does all over the face of the stationary Earth. It rises and falls. It's just what it does. We've got a diurnal tide here. Hey, I'm going to zoom in on the clam bed right there. Now it's visible. It's a few inches of water that have gone out, that has gone out. And I saw this yesterday. I'm going to zoom in on it right now. Let's see, the water is squirting out of the clams. That is so cool. All right. So the clams have a muscle in them, and people will spend a lot of money to go and get clams. This is, or oysters, I guess. That's what I would say, oyster beds, clam beds. I'm not a fan. I just have never really enjoyed the taste of them, so I don't have them. But wanted to show you once again the evidence of just simple puddles. And then, of course, the drain right there in the middle of that. They put drains in the low spot. It just works better that way. That's where the water leaves, the low spot. And one of the reasons to leave the broadcast continuous, and I believe I'm going to have it brief, like shortly after the I get to the beach, I'm going to discontinue it. I'll stop it. I want to get home and post it. I'm not a distracted driver. Some people get really ill about it. They don't like the content, so they'll say, not of me, normally. Normally I don't get that, where they're saying, hey, you shouldn't be doing a recording while you're driving. Well, I'm an excellent driver. That's what the Rain Man said on Dustin Hoffman with the Tom Cruise movie. See, we've got public figures like Tom Cruise and Jack Nicholson. These individuals have been propped up by a system of power and control that's amazing. Absolutely amazing. I think what I'm going to do is just go, not here. They've got a no parking thing here. I wanted to show you something a little bit different. I can park up here on the grass. A lot of other people do. I wanted to show you the precision with which the water leaves this area and what I can show you with that. So you'll be able to see that a little bit better. Where I was out there on the walkout, look at the symmetry of the wood and the reflections and all of that. It's all perfect. Just from a different vantage point. The fishermen are coming out. They're driving on out, launching their boats, getting all set up for some relaxing activity. Farmers, fishermen, all kind of interesting. It's not only about catching fish, it's about interacting with, I believe, reality, a high percentage of reality. What we can see in the creation. So that's a big deal. Being able to see reality and what that's like. Oh, I did rinse my brakes off too. I had brake dust in between my in my brake mechanism, and I rinsed that off. Yesterday I mentioned it. That squeaking was really bugging me. And that's okay. That doesn't mean I need to be drugged like I'm OCD or something. That's part of the system of control, the mechanism. They have a diagnostic manual called the DSM for psychiatric conditions. They've got a drug and a condition for anybody that can fog a mirror. Just so you know, I'm not a fan of that. And I'm outing that system. So I'm just about to the end of the P1000 recording. But I wanted to get out here at the open ocean to have the continuous broadcast. Good morning, Sally. Beautiful day again, isn't it? This is the Prince Resort. Wonderful location here in Cherry Grove and Cherry Grove Fishing Pier. So I'm going to go ahead and start another P1000 broadcast.